Hello and welcome back, y'all. The PlayVS Fall 2022 High School Championship featuring Smash Bros. Ultimate. Once again, I am joined by my big homie, MCC. Other way. How you doing, dog?
I know, we're on the opposite side. I kind of instinctively look this way because, like, you're usually on... I'm on that side, you're on
Oh,
this
totally.
side, but now I got to awkwardly turn my chair the other way to make sure I'm looking at you properly. Yeah, see, you did it wrong, too!
No, yeah. I mean, hey, we're in it now. Good seeing you, my man. We have some great matches today.
You too, man.
What teams do we have today, real quick?
Let's see, we have the Lancer Bros Red roster versus the, sorry if I mispronounced this, the Crescepi Colts roster. We have 3 players representing the Lancer Bros Red roster. We have Seth, Dom, and Jaden. And of course, with that team, we have Honda, Mix Fix to the power of 2. I think that's what that little hyphenation...
Squared, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, or squared. I think that's what our little note says.
Yeah.
And, of course, Nightlight.
Very nice. And some powerful contenders today. Before we jump into it, I just got a shout out. For y'all who are tuning in, don't you go nowhere when we're done, because the California Challenge gave participating schools in California leagues an opportunity to win their share of $25,000 in scholarships and prizing. Teams enrolled in California's Rocket League, League of Legends, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate tournaments were awarded points based on their active participation in the season through match completions and by sharing their stories through videos or essays. So at the end of this entire bracket, we'll be sharing the winning schools and teams at the end all followed by a video submission from one of our winners. So don't go anywhere, y'all. We got a big reveal at the end, so stay tuned. It'll be hype. I know that you know it will be, so let's buckle up and get some nice snacks going on. But until then, we're waiting on our first match. I believe the first head-to-head we got mentioned was Seth versus Honda.
Yep.
I mean, we're seeing the Street Fighter name in there. Are we looking like maybe like Ryu or Ken?
Again, we've seen a lot of fighting. We've seen a lot of fighting game characters throughout the Smash brackets that we've been witnessing together. Suplex, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised, because it seems like the fighting game characters within the Smash roster, of course, are some popular choices when it comes to a main or a main character you want to play in the game.
Yeah, I mean, mains are one thing. Secondary is another as well. Being able to actually adapt like that and be able to pick a character on the fly for a certain matchup, certain stage, some situation. I mean, that skill set is also valuable. We'll have to see just how varied the toolkits are for these players, because you never know how far it can go. These players could have put in so many hours. I mean, they're in high school. They got time.
They got all the time in the world, man. We've talked about it like pretty much all week. Like, it's actually incredible what the opportunity that these kinds of people have, especially at the age they're at. You and I we're not spring chickens anymore.
I mean, hey, I still think I'm pretty young, my man. I mean, I'm kind of a child, even though I don't look like one.
You know what? Our profession is one of young people, so we'll take it on the chin, you know.
Oh yeah,
we're young.
It's all good.
We're
though.
still young. We're hip.
Okay, now we're like 10 years older because you said that now. Dude.
People still say that, right? Oh God.
This will be a good time for the California region. Got nice matches coming up to you live from the Crispy Kilts and the Lancer Bros Red. I mean, you can't ask for much better head-to-heads than this, I believe. Yep, here we go. Jumping right in. And on cue, the FGC is in here. Terry showing up with some nice power on deck. Keep the trainer against him. Let's get right into it.
As he said, FGC characters seem to be a very popular pick amongst a lot of people, and I'm not surprised, honestly. They play really well, they have good fundamentals, amazing combo game, and of course, big advantage for the FGC characters is in a 1v1 situation. Just as right now, they do have an auto turnaround, so it's very hard to even cross them up.
On top of that as well, I mean, they're still good at keeping up with you. Being able to automatically turn around is a tool that often goes undervalued. Because oh my goodness, what a nice confirming of the burn knuckle there. First shot going down from the side of Seth.
Honda's showing some incredible patience right there. Ooh, a little bit of footstool, getting some nice combo. That forward air is going to connect into that power dunk. Look at that damage, 40% off of one string. This is what makes Terry such an incredible character. And not to mention, 100%, you know what that means, suplex, that go meter. It's going to be huge.
Oh, one for the power guys, I think, in the air?
No, I think he went to go for the power dunk, use a little bit of recovery, but of course Seth was waiting for them right there. Deep breathing online. Deep breathing is a menace in this game. Look how much damage the We've Been Trainer put on. 75%. As soon as Honda pretty much got off that Angel platform, and suddenly Seth managed to give themselves a nice lead.
I can't remember. You can use Terry Supers in the air, right? Or you're not able to?
Yes, you can.
Okay, yeah.
You cannot use the Power Geyser or the Buster Wolf, but you can use the Power Dunk, the Crack Shoot, and of course the Bird Knuckle. Oh, going deep.
So supers aren't available in the air. Okay.
No, the supers are not available in the air, but every single one of their super moves, regular
special moves
are.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a spike. Yup, I saw that happening a mile away. That little volleyball, soccer ball that we fit through. Yeah, enough end lag for the Terry to get spike hitbox from Power Dunk, which I might add only happens if you use the true input version of the move. Buster Wolf, 41%. That's what makes Go Meter such an incredible tool. Look at this. At the ledge, this is so dangerous for Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah, even as up as much as possible here. 128% on the side of Honda. Barely makes it right back. It was possible until the DI was perfect. Hold on. Chance time for Honda.
Yeah,
Does it just right.
Didn't have the deep breathing there, but neutral gets him right into the next one.
It's too much. McLovin just putting on that pressure from as much range as possible. You listen to that Wii Fit Trainer zoning. It's so solid. It doesn't look that scary. I mean, you're looking at Sun. I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to get a 10 on every now and then. You're looking at some volleyball, some soccer. I mean, sports aren't that dangerous, right? But then you're looking at your health bar after that deep breathing, and you've taken, well, not health bar, percentage, and you've taken like over 50% with just 2 exchanges.
I mean, I think both these characters are actually insane at dishing out damage. Wii Fit Trainer, of course, gets their mechanic, which is the deep breathing. A lot of people will kind of treat it equivalent to the limit break from Smash 4 Cloud because of the amount of damage that you're able to dish out. But of course, Terry Bogard himself, he has some incredible strings. So very basic combos, but those bread and butters can add up for so much percent. As you saw, that 4-tilt Buster Wolf did an insane 41% on that last stock and very close to bringing it back, actually.
It's really cool to see just how, like, not only Terry is contested against with a character like Wii Fit, who has just a similar damage output, but just how much it seems like Terry struggles a little bit with the mid-range zone. As you can see, Wii Fit really dominated that with the volleyball. He's on the volleyball. Is it a volleyball or a soccer ball?
That's what I said. That's the exact thing I would say. I don't know. It looks like a soccer ball, but they're spiking it like a volleyball. Like,
yeah.
At this point, we might as well just go on Google and look up what the move actually is supposed to be.
I'm not. Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
We'll iron out the details a little bit later. But I think it's a very interesting matchup that you say that we're witnessing right now. Of course, 2 characters once again to kind of simplify things. It's just 2 characters dishing it out. Of course, Wii Fit Trainer might have that slight edge from those edge guards, those projectiles, and of course Terry's biggest weakness, he does not have a recovery that can snap the ledge immediately.
It may be invincible for that startup bit if you do the true input, but when it comes down to it, it's pretty vulnerable, and not having instant snap is extremely dangerous against a character like Wii Fit, who has the power of the sun, who has really solid tilts to really try and cover the ledge. You know what? We saw it before. We'll see it again. Just deep breath.
Quite a literal 0 to death. He didn't even have to touch him, man. He just had him shook. Oh my god. Okay, I was gonna say, but is he about to just make a 0 to death come back and just even things back up, which would honestly be even more tilting if I were him. And that's just because, like, oh man, I just gave him a stop for free, and then I just 0 to death him like that.
Yeah. Making it worth it though.
Back air. Oh, he didn't jump off the ledge, and he kind of just back air falling. But still, look at that damage output. That SD is coming back to bite Honda in a big, or excuse me, yes, Honda in a big way.
Nice little power dunk there to get the coverage in, get that KO off the top, and already we're looking at a game point here for Sada Seth. This is impressive.
I mean, and the Go Meter's online. That's gonna be 40%. Yup, look at that. Nair, 4-tilt, Buster Wolf. I love someone who knows their Terry bread and butter, one of my favorite characters to play in this entire game, and Seth really showing off what makes Terry such a balanced character.
Look at this balance right here. At the ledge.
Oh, what a parry as well. Gets into the grab. I put air quotes around balance. People definitely do not think Terry's a balanced character.
Burning! Can get that kill off the side there.
I love Terry's kind of like Japanese accent English.
Yeah. That Terry's so sick.
I love
Truly a
Terry.
style that can't be dated. Nice little true input right and tackle there for the extra height.
Yep, gets a little extra height, gets full invulnerability versus the non-input version, the regular up B version, which is only intangible at the beginning and from the legs. That back air is nice. Raw back air just jumped right into the platform, hit that raw back air, and that is, I believe, one game apiece. Yep.
Yeah. Very clean, very clean. I mean, we did see that immediate SD. It is what it is. You move on to the next game. I mean, Smash just happens like that, yo. You're never gonna see the same match twice, and when you see a start like that, shake it off. You're a whole new game. Sometimes you gotta think about it. I believe Mango once mentioned this. When every time you lose a stock, you're an entirely new person. That's an entirely new Wii Fit trainer dropping off the platform right now. Not the same one, not the same tilted one. It wasn't ever tilted. This is a fresh new game every time.
And we got to remember the format as well, Suplex. That this is, you know, they're in teams of 3, and of course each team needs to secure 2 wins in the set, or in each set to secure the win overall. But of course, each set individually, those 1-to-1 matchups are a best of 5. So the fact that we're going to game 3 and both players neither have an advantage nor disadvantage from one another, tied at 1-1, they have some games to give up, of course, to help with that adaptation. And you gotta remember, those teammates are probably watching, and those coaches as well. So you're always gonna be able to get some information and some support, seeing what habits and changes you need to make. And look at this, coming swinging, Wii Fit Trainer dealing 72% already.
Yeah. Have we been on PS2 this whole time?
Yes, we have gone on PS2 this whole time, and it's pretty standard, honestly. Pretty par for the course for a lot of competitive Smash players. They just really like Pokemon Stadium 2, and I doubt it's going to be any different for these two.
Yeah, a little forward tilt there to check the shield. Drop a little snipe with the volleyball. I'm going to call it a volleyball at this point.
I honestly, it's like... I don't...
He's going to hit it like a volleyball.
Really,
I'm call it a volleyball.
Does everyone ever really know what it actually is? Let's be honest.
Little hula hoop there back up. You can see Honda trying to get any kind of good start here. Seal out the first stock. Seal out the second stock. Wait, seal out second stock!
Ooh.
God dang.
God dang. Tried to, Honda, or Seth right there, excuse me, tried to confirm that. Nair into that down air, which is a true confirm, but Honda ready, waiting, and look at that. That SD from game number 2, out of sight, out of mind, not even worried about it.
Oh, yeah. Just clap back. It's all good. You got more games to play. You're not out of the game just yet. But that stock is going to be gone. Down tilt into burn knuckle. So reliable.
A full stock up though right now. Honda just trying to close things out really quickly. That deep breathing, of course, once again, going to do a lot of damage if you can get some hits in. Nice confirm right there. That down throw, incorrect DI from Honda. That led to about 40%. Terry can put on the hurt.
Yeah, a little bit of healing here for McLovin. Not McLovin, Honda. That name's way too funny, but the true input power dunk once again coming clutch in the same spot.
Yep, exact same spot, exact same spike, but faded back right into it. I think he got a little bit scared right there, didn't want a directional air dodge because of the lag, but I think that fade back actually did end up costing them that stock. That volleyball did end up hitting right at the edge of the blast zone. So that is a 2-1 lead now, Suplex.
Yeah, I mean, Honda's looking pretty fire. This could be something special, yo. I can imagine a Game 5 definitely happening here. Seth has some good work to do on the Terry. I mean, you've got good damage output. You've got good kill confirms. All it takes is really overpowering that Wii Fit in neutral. And really being able to not only take control of neutral, but make it so that they don't have the breathing room to do that deep breathing all the time. To do the solar flare charge. What's it? Salute the sun? Salute the sun, right?
Salute the sun.
Yeah.
Salute the sun. Sun salutation.
Sun salutations.
Yeah. It is called, officially, the name of the move is the Sun Salutation.
Oh, the info there for y'all. Appreciate it.
I'm that encyclopedia for us, man. I got the knowledge check. The only knowledge check I really don't know is soccer or volleyball.
Yeah, because it's definitely a soccer ball.
It's definitely a soccer ball,
yeah.
But they're hitting it like a volleyball. Actually, I did look up the move. It doesn't help. It doesn't help with our situation because the official name of the move is the header. That doesn't help.
Great. That's great. That's right between the two.
That's still right between the two.
Oh, nice
rising
tackle there.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Seth right there, confirming right to the rising tackle off those jabs, and he's still hanging on to the go meter. So Terry's in his most dangerous position, but not for long. Honda cleaning out with a deep breathing back here, setting him all the way to the top.
And it's so important see how Honda tries to utilize this deep breathing to get that easy damage in. You can see them just going off stage to go for those volleyballs, go for the salute the sun. Really just trying to make sure you can tack on whatever free damage you can get, because any of those like projectiles clashing or like, really just hitting something out of nowhere, that's an easy 15%, 20% for free.
Ooh, I missed we almost missed an amazing combo right there. Seth didn't drop it. He actually got a falling up air as Terry. That is one of his probably best starters. Nice confirm right there. Holding down on that up air just to get that charge of the rising tackle to be able to confirm into it. And look how early that stock was at 42% off of the next immediate string. Look at that, once again, trying to get those falling up air combos. And he's off to the races right now. It's very likely we could see a game 5.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing really good adaptations here from Honda to really shut down Seth. The neutral again is looking tough. Look at that confirm off the volleyball into one more. Deep breathing for the finish.
Nope, still has that jump. Air dodges this time off the jump, but once again, forward tilt with the deep breathing. As strong as an F smash from a lot of characters that Wii Fit trainer. That might be it. No, he didn't decide to go for.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! He didn't decide to go for the down air, and that almost cost him because that header, that volleyball / soccer move does have a spike hitbox when they're spiking the ball.
I love seeing the SDI right now from Honda as well. Really expert trying to escape those power dunks, not take that damage, not take that knockback, and not potentially get KO'd here.
Probably the best counterplay against the Terry, using that SDI to escape those bread and butter combos, because if you can do that, then Terry doesn't get as much as he'd like. Trying to auto-cancel. Ooh, I love that attempt right there, using the heavy power dunk to try to auto-cancel, because it is safe if you auto-cancel it. It doesn't matter if you block or you land right in front of them, that move is plus on shield.
Just going for power dunks all day, every day. Seth's trying to end it in style here. Again, Honda is taking their time, using deep breathing as much as they can, getting this easy damage.
Ooh, I love that stall right there. Crack shoots right back to the center stage, reset the neutral, waits out the deep breathing.
Oh, just expert zoning right now from Honda, though. There's not many spaces for Seth to get in. They're shielding their way in now.
Oh, the soccer ball actually blocked the sun salutation. That was very fortunate from Seth, actually, because I think he otherwise would have lost the stock. Nice 2-frame right there.
What a spike! Okay, the snipes from Honda are so clean. Another one for free! You know you're out of here! That is the first set. God dang.
That is the first set, and it took only up to 200% for them to finally take that stock, but that edge guarding was immaculate. You did not want to give Terry that opportunity to come back to stage and use that go meter, which I definitely think is what Seth was looking for, but of course Honda just shutting that door, taking the first set. Clean 3-1, but I definitely think, based on that, we can probably see some very even matchups. That could have easily gone to a game 5, because they were in a last stock, last hit situation, Suplex. Let's not forget that. Let's not discount what we just saw right there.
No, it was a really intense set, really back and forth, and not to mention really, really solid play and attempts at the adaptation there from Seth. Playing that Terry, doing a really, really good job, but just sadly not quite enough this time. Honda with the snipes, the zoning, you can see just how much Seth's patience was being drained by that amount of zoning, and when it came down to it, just ended up running into punches, running into balls, and that'll be about a wrap for that set, as the first one goes over to Crispy Kilts. And looking pretty good so far.
All right, well, looking at the list of players we have, we should be having Dom versus Mix Fix Squared. That is our projected second set match, head-to-head up matchup. What are you expecting in set number 2 here? I mean, we've talked about this throughout the entire broadcast, and previous broadcasts as well, Suplex, and I think it's worth bringing up today. What do you think about this team kind of composition? You know, the way you order your players, it's like a crew battle. You don't know where to put your best. You don't know where to put, your anchor. Like, how do you think they want to structure their teams? What are you thinking here?
No, I do believe that there's an optimal order to this kind of format. Now, when it comes down to it, you have to try and assess the amount of risk that you have to go to a game 3 in this kind of head-to-head. Because when it comes down to it, it might just be over in a 2-0 for either side, right? And if you're trying to end it in a 2-0, then you have to put your strongest player in the first or second slot at least. However, if you want to try and gamble on that game 3, that's up to you. But when teams are locked in players-wise, they have to at least assume that they're either going to be able to fight for that game 3 or take it all away at game 2, and that's scary, because if you're not quite sure where to put your strongest player, that can end up being a bad matchup.
Well, Dom, yes, we just heard from our production that it is indeed Dom versus Mix Fix. So we do have the confirmation of our round two. But it's always an interesting argument where we're talking about formats such as a suplex. Like,
Yeah.
it's that fear of, do I really want to put my best player in the third slot and risk, not being able to use them because we lost 2-0, or would I rather them guarantee us one set victory, but then throw up in the air whether or not we would be able to secure one more with our remaining two players? And of course, that's not to say the other two remaining players are, bad or, not good in any way. It's just that risk factor of, knowing, yes, you are our most consistent, or maybe you are our best player, or you have the most diverse matchups based off your character, you have a better understanding. There's a lot of factors going into it, and I think it's just that question of, do I really want to see and wait, or do I want to just let them rock it out and see what happens from there, kind of question.
And I also like to say that, like, while you definitely want to have your strongest player on the first and second slot, it's also very important to note that the Smash Bros. Is such a fully creative and open-ended game when it comes to how you want to try and flex your skill. So when you're able to have a team battle like this, maybe the person who plays the underplayed character needs to go first. Maybe the person who is able to deal with a lot of matchups will want to go first. Somebody who's able to crack that ice and is really able to get the sparks flying for your team is most important on that first set. And now we're getting to the second one, and we're seeing some really interesting characters. Sephiroth versus Pac-Man. I don't think we've seen a Pac-Man yet, and honestly, I love seeing them.
I don't think we've seen a Sephiroth either, actually, but this is... On paper, this matchup is actually not that good for Sephiroth. Pac-Man does have options to box out Sephiroth because he has way faster frame data. Of course, he has those projectiles, but I think Sephiroth's biggest advantage in this matchup is that his counter, his Scintilla.
Yeah, it's counter. It's also reflector, is it not?
No, it is not reflector, but
it's not.
Yeah, it is one of the strongest reflectors in the game, or counters in the game. I think even just as strong, if not stronger, than even Joker's Arsene Tetrakarn. So, but of course, the biggest weakness of Scintilla is the fact that it only hits in front of Sephiroth. So if you're behind Sephiroth and he uses that move, it doesn't matter.
What a catch! What a neutralization with the down air! What?
Yeah, see right there, trying to make use of it. That Octa Slash, just misses the confirm off the belt, using that down air. The Hell's Gate, I believe is what it's called officially from the Final Fantasy series, but it doesn't matter. Dom just throwing everything but the kitchen sink, the key, right through the hydrant, and that's going to take that first stock. Sephiroth, notorious, of course, for being extremely light as well.
Yeah, that was such a nasty B-reverse off the ledge into the key throw. You can see that Dom was really, really practicing Pac-Man here. Missile forward air.
Utilizing that space, and once again, Pac-Man just absolutely pressuring Sephiroth. Sephiroth's other biggest weakness is he needs space. He doesn't have the frame data to keep up with a lot of the cast, so you need to make sure you're spacing yourself properly, and of course, utilize that wing however you can. That is the biggest tool in Sephiroth's kit. It absolutely just makes him one probably mid-character to probably one that can arguably pretty high tier.
Now, for those who aren't quite aware, what does the wing really provide for Sephiroth here?
So for one, the biggest thing is it improves Sephiroth's damage overall. Like, he will always hit harder as long as the wing active. I believe a 1.3 multiplied boost. And not only that, because you do more damage, of course, you're going to do more knockback as well. You get an additional jump, as we just saw Mix Fix use right there, so that will help you mix up your recoveries. And just like Cloud's Limit Break, it will improve Sephiroth's speed.
Oh! But how fast would it be against a Hydra that's bouncing around like that? The space coverage from Dom was not really allowing Mix Fix Squared to really mobilize as much as they really need to create that space like you mentioned and start really utilizing the full game plan potential of Sephiroth here.
Yeah, it's a very difficult matchup, and look at that. Wing at 30%. Something else we should mention is Sephiroth. If he's down by stocks, he will get the wing earlier and earlier each time. But of course, if you are ahead, you are liable to lose the wing, or even if you make a comeback, you can still lose the wing. So something to keep in mind of if you're Sephiroth, you got to keep track of making sure you don't lose your stocks too early, and don't give up a lead too early as well, because you want to keep that wing for situations where you want to take stocks.
Little space coverage again. See Dom just chilling, not taking things too fast, able to happily hold that lead, set up Hydrant, set up Fruit. Ooh, nice little roll through.
That might do it. Yup. Perfect timing. Right off the
Beautiful
bell.
confirm. Pac-Man is that kind of character where you see a combo start and you're like, yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, Pac-Man obviously using that pellet right there off the bell, very impeccable timing. It's a lot more tricky to do that because you do have to angle the way the pellet goes, so obviously you time it properly so when they get knocked back, the pellet will be right in front of them and Pac-Man will obviously hit them, and in that scenario, of course, Sephiroth's super light, already kind of in the air, is going to lose their stock. So very good showing about the Pac-Man Sephiroth matchup. As I stated earlier, probably not a favorable matchup for Sephiroth just because Pac-Man has tools to be able to box in with Sephiroth, get in, and of course he has projectile game, so he can play keep away from Sephiroth as well, which is not ideal just because you want to have that sweet spot in terms of your spacing when you're playing as Sephiroth to maximize your efficiency.
Yeah, I mean, but especially as your Pac-Man, right? You want to create that space to allow yourself to have a nice initiation to a fight, get that close range in, build up your fruit, your items, whatever, I mean, whatever you want to call it, honestly. I forget what it's actually. Does it have an official name? It must.
I believe it's you're correct. It should be the bonus fruit, even though like
Bonus
you see
fruit, yeah.
yeah, it's called the bonus fruit, even though you still get like the items like the Galaga, the bell, and of course the key.
Right.
Those are probably the three. Those are probably the three biggest items you're going to see. The apple is of course occasionally used as well. A little bit of a weird angle projectile because it goes at a diagonal before coming back down. There's the melon, which goes very
I love the
slow.
melon.
Yeah. The most default one, of course, being the cherry, which just does a slight hop in a very small distance. It doesn't do too much knockback, but it is relatively quick because it is the first fruit in the order of the neutral beam.
No, I would love to see more creative setups here. Like, actually, I'm a big fan of the melon. Like, it is so hyped to see the super slow moving projectile eventually get set up into. Like, Pac-Man is one of those characters where you can see something start to happen, you're not sure what's about to happen, and then boom, the fireworks go off.
Yeah, see, look at that. 32% off the Scintilla from a projectile.
That was clean.
And you saw how much knockback that took. Like I said, I think Scintilla is probably one of the biggest tools that you can use if you are mixed fix and without a jump. I think that's it, yeah. He doesn't have a jump. He didn't have the wing either. Very unfortunate. Octoslash might have some extra distance compared to the Blade Dash, but not enough distance right there to make it back. And now Sephiroth finds himself down. I was going to say, you do not want to jump against Pac-Man when he's pouring you like that at those low percents. Look at that, the Shadow Flare.
The Grape Skittles.
Skittles, the grapes, whatever you want to call them, but good job to avoid them by Dom, and that's going to be it without another jump mix fix. SDing, unfortunate, and he's already down 2 stocks. That wing is probably going to be coming within a few percent. Scintilla once again coming out, doing a little bit of extra damage.
Trying for that down smash to cover that ledge get up, but again, there's no dice. Dom is able to control the pace here as Misfit Squared is trying anything to clap back on these stocks. Let's just set up a setup from Dom, and I mean, as per the name, it's looking dominant.
There's not much they can do right now. The wing is active, but you're down 2 stocks, and even given Pac-Man's percentage, I feel like, ooh, never mind. I was going to say, even given if you had an opportunity to make a comeback, I was going to say, you might lose that wing by that 3rd stock, but it doesn't matter. That was a clean 3 stock right there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, clearly you cannot mess with Dom's Pac-Man. Like, I noticed initially that those routes that he was throwing out were so clean and crisp and actually definitely practiced, because Pac-Man routes, like you mentioned, are not easy. They're not easy, they're not simple, they're nothing like you can just like, you can't just pick up Mario and then pick up Pac-Man and do the same thing. Like,
nope. I mean, let's look at some of the best Pac-Mans in the world, and like for a lot of people who watch the competitive Smash team, they'll know who exactly I'm talking about. T. Master of Pac-Man, probably one of the few Pac-Man representatives at in any level, and this person in particular is a top level player. He makes people look lost when they're playing against his Pac-Man, and that's just because of the oppression that Pac-Man can provide. Once again, he has incredible frame data. You can box with Pac-Man. He's not a typical zoner. A lot of zoners in the game, of course, they primarily focus on that zoning aspect, and when you get in against them, it's very difficult for them to box. Not quite so with Pac-Man. He has fast aerials. Of course, the biggest glow-up is the fact that he went from having probably and unanimously the worst grab in Smash 4 to arguably one of the best grabs in Smash Ultimate. Like, that, his grab in Smash Ultimate is actually incredibly good. You might not think of it. You might not think just because of how slow it is, but it has range, it has a longer hitbox, it lasts longer, and it doesn't have that big problem where if you whiff, it's just dead for like 2 seconds. No, it's active pretty much the entirety of its animation. So that's one thing to watch out for, and that's something that we actually didn't see too much coming from Pac-Man is the grabs. He has up throw into those up air strings, and of course those nairs, those forward airs. There's just so much, and I'm wondering if we're going to see a character change just because, of course, we're noticing that Sephiroth pick is just not really working out right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine Sephiroth being good against a character like Pac-Man, who's able to box like you mentioned, and also able to have such setups that are so tough for Sephiroth with no projectile counter. And while you can counter the bonus fruit, at least for a close range counter, if Pac-Man's not there, he's not there. Like, you're not going to get much for it.
You're not going to get anything for it. If anything, you might give Pac-Man an opportunity to close the gap because the Scintilla will have its hitbox, but of course there's going to be that end lag, and of course, as we mentioned earlier, Scintilla only hits from in front of you, so if Pac-Man can find a way behind Sephiroth while it's active, that's going to be huge.
Into our game 3 here, though. Dom looking to make it quick, but not if this Sephiroth has something to say about it. I'm telling you, yo. Mixed Fix Squared. Not out of it yet, but has some serious work to do.
Gonna use that Galaga, just throw it and recatch it. That's something a lot of common Pac-Man mains will do. It's because they can actually act out of the throw animation a lot faster than just throwing it as their neutral B option, their neutral special. So something to keep in mind. Of course, right now Pac-Man has no fruit. Sephiroth, you need to find a way to get some distance between you. Otherwise, this Pac-Man's absolutely gonna box you out. There we go. That Scintilla is gonna help you create a little bit of space.
Dives on the hydrant. Slight miss there. See Dom still trying to set up with the Galaga, but it's nothing quite too heavy yet. There's the wing. The hydrant control. There's just so much space coverage that Dom has here. Into the
power pellet. There we go. That's what. Yep. That's why I said that's one thing to watch out for. It's a lot easier said than done when using that power pellet. You got to be able to time the distance and the timing. Nice use of the flare right there to get rid of that hydrant, create some space. You add the wing. This is as even as it's been so far this entire set. Now you got to find a way to close out this stock if you're Mix Fix.
Yeah, and that's just the thing too, right? Sephiroth has so many powerful neutral, at least coverage tools, but there's not so much that's at least as reliable speed-wise for Sephiroth that Pac-Man has in comparison here. Pac-Man doesn't have very good, very extremely strong smash attacks either, but on top of it all off, Sephiroth's smash attacks are so committal, and you can see that back here closing it out easy peasy.
Yeah, when we're comparing smash attacks, I definitely think Pac-Man would have the edge here. His smash attacks are deceptionally strong, and they, once again, have lingering hitboxes. So
yeah.
Another thing to watch out for, just because Inky Blinky, I don't remember the other two, Clyde.
Inky Binky Clyde and I'm sorry. No, hold on.
I feel fake, man. I feel fake. I don't remember the fourth ghost, but you know, you get the idea.
Inky,
Pinky, Blinky, and Clyde.
Yeah. But no, those ghosts, they're really strong from Pac-Man, but again, they're still more or less just as slow as Sephiroth. It's not. They're a little bit faster, and they have really good range as well.
Noticeably faster. But,
noticeably faster.
Oh, Octoslash! There we go. That's gonna get some distance between them. Once again, the wing is active. Oh, he tried to two-frame with the down smash on the ledge get up, but it just didn't work out. There's that melon. There's that melon. Your favorite fruit, man.
He set it up in the top left corner. See a little setup with the apple, yeah, and that's just the mix-up, right? When Pac-Man's have the bonus fruit out, he can choose to store it, as you will normally see, but that sudden release of just suddenly getting a fruit in the face, it's hard to expect every time.
That's something definitely to keep note of, and once again, we saw that apple is something I actually brought up. I told you exactly how that apple is kind of a mix-up fruit because it launches you completely differently. I don't think Mix Fix was ready right there because he went straight up. That apple actually sent you at an upwards angle if it hits you. Shadow Flare is going to help with some damage right now. Try to make some distance, but Mix Fix just cannot catch up right now. Dom just has him completely scouted.
Yeah, this download seems more or less complete here. Gets one grab, but only go for the pummels. Nothing too much on the throw side. Nice little down air covered as well. Misfits. Start countering.
Using that Scintilla, I would definitely try to attempt to maybe edge guard right now. We haven't seen many edge guards from Mixed Fix. That's probably one of Sephiroth's biggest strengths, especially with the wing. Once again, you have an additional jump. You have the ability to just go out there and chase people down. That Fire Hydrant is going to protect him.
Oh.
Combine it into the bell, and ooh, miss the confirm. That's going to allow Mixed Fix to survive just a little bit longer. Gets him right into the Shadow Flare.
Huge use of the flare there. I mean, it's really good coverage tool. It's so slow, but I mean, just look at the explosion you get from it, right?
Yeah, you got the Giga Flare, Mega Flare, of course, being the big one, but you got to charge that up for a long time, and it's probably only practical at the ledge. See if you can get some mix-up. Wow, that was inches
close. Jumps over the hydrant, gets caught by the key. It's a trap every time. Pac-Man's gonna set up those neutral interactions to have you stuck in checkmate. It's brutal, yo. Second set, I mean,
that's the second set done, and each team is gonna be tied at 1 apiece. And so we go down to our third head-to-head matchup for a winner-take-all suplex.
Yeah, this is where we get started at the really fun stuff, because we get to see if people really put the strongest player as the anchor, or if they really just try to use, maybe we'll do a good person who's good with matchups on the anchor, or someone who's good with a certain character, but nobody else really knows how to fight this character on the anchor, you know? I mean, there could be a lot of options, there are a lot of ideas for these teams, but I'll just see how it shakes out.
Could have said it better myself. I hope you are staying hydrated, by the way. I know you just saw me pull out my water.
So true.
I hope you're staying hydrated, man. There you go. Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, I also do want to reiterate one more time. Stick around to the end of the broadcast, y'all. We have a special video submission from one of our winners coming to you live. If you stick around till the end, don't go nowhere. We have a world premiere coming your way.
So as we head into our third set right now, Suplex, I'm just going to wait for our production to give us the okay. But, of course, the last two people we should be seeing are Jaden and Nightlight. Yep, just got the confirmation from our production. That is indeed going to be our third head-to-head and our final one. Winner take all. Everything is on the line right now between these two teams. We've seen some little back and forth between those two sets. Of course, an interesting mix of characters. Sephiroth and Pac-Man were new characters that we haven't seen throughout our entire time together so far, Suplex. So I'm wondering if we're going to see, once again, some new characters, or we're going to see another Pokemon trainer, aren't we?
Yeah, this could be something special. I mean, we've seen a lot of Pokemon trainer. We've seen a lot of characters.
We've seen a lot of Terrys. We actually seen quite a fit. We've seen quite a few Wii Fits as well. That's a character that I did not expect to see a lot of. Wii Fit is more of a, I wouldn't say niche pick, but I think it's not that common to see, especially compared to a lot of the other characters we see. You know, Pokemon Trainer, Terry, Kazuya, those are characters. Those are three characters that, off the top of my head, that I definitely remember seeing quite a few times. And of course, they're very popular characters, popularized by a lot of top Smash players. But you know, Wii Fit, one of them. We saw Pikachu, we saw Pichu. Again, characters that are very top of the top Wii Fit. And this time we saw Pac-Man and Sephiroth. We've seen a lot of characters through our time together, Suplex, and I'm hoping that we see even more.
I love to see a lot more characters. I love to see. I mean, I'm surprised at the few amount of characters we've seen that actually using sword. I think we saw one Chrom.
We saw Chrom. We did see a little Mac as well.
Yeah, but like sword characters, I'm just like I'm surprised there's so little of them right now. I mean, it's actually kind of a blessing.
Oh.
Ooh, just wait down. I
think we got a little bit of sneak preview. Yeah, I got a little bit of sneak preview. I saw Ness and I saw Steve. Steve is one character we've seen before.
Yeah, this could be special now. Now, I do want to definitely mention that Ness, that forward smash is a reflector. So we can see some Minecraft reflects. You can see some really potential good counterplay here, because Steve is a character you got to learn to really counterplay as properly as possible.
Oh, look how much damage! Look how much damage that is. DI'd in on the PK Thunder. That's not what you want to see right off the bat. 58%. Look at these up tilt combos.
He has the
oh my God! He was getting laddered. He was getting laddered.
Nightlight has the Steve Balmos. This might be over. Steve, his combo routes are so good.
I have a story to tell, Suplex. I have a friend who is
what is that recovery?
Does know how to.
What is that edge guard?
Good use of the yo-yo right there.
Go on with your story.
What is the story? Okay, I have a friend who was a banjo player, and then they picked up Steve, and then I played friendlies with, and then they asked me to play friendlies, and I'm like, sure, and then they pulled out Steve for me, and I'm like, oh my God, and they were incredible. I have nothing but respect for my friend. He is an incredible Steve player, and he's actually someone who taught me a lot of the Steve tech. He actually, the funniest part of the story is during our session, he asked me to find music for him that was at a specific beats per minute. I couldn't remember the exact number, and I had to ask him why. And he said because the Steve combos, those up tilt combos and those block combos, you can actually do them to the beat of some music, depending on beats per minute. So you can set up a playlist with music at the at those rhythms and those intervals, and it will help you combo properly using Steve.
That's kind of sick. I mean, it's
that's some very niche, not so well known Steve tech that people probably won't be aware
Steve
of.
tech.
Yeah, that is like it's absolutely Steve tech. You can have a music playlist that will help you, you know, up tilt and build to the rhythm, so you can combo properly.
I mean, it is. I wouldn't say it's very uncommon for people to relate combos to music notation as well. It's something special when you have that kind of muscle memory and you are able to like actually not only find a way to hone it. Wow, what a packer! But also find a way to allow you to find an easy way to get it in the flow. I mean, it's hard to really describe fully, but combos are something that aren't just something you go in the training room and do over and over and over. It's something you actually build into your hands, into your understanding of the character. It becomes a greater skill than just doing damage.
It's all about that muscle memory and that practice, as you said right now. And of course, we are seeing Nightlight proven that he is completely aware and he's had practice with these combos in a real life practice, because it's completely different doing it in the training room and then having to react to it in a real set. As we get into our last stock scenario right here, Nightlight does not have that many mats, actually. Only 4 irons, so that's only 3 anvils, so that's probably one of his biggest tools to get at a disadvantage. Building upwards, 85%. Not going to take Ness off the top just yet. Very fortunate. It's even percent, tries to charge up that smash attack right there from Ness. Jaden, a little bit down in percent. Has the diamond on deck, Nightlight. That's huge. I think they want to craft that as soon as they can.
Some interesting movement from Nightlight here. You see Jaden trying to keep up, but is barely able to match the speed they're putting out right now. Minecraft trapping them in the middle stage for a little bit here.
Yeah, but
you see the iron running low.
Yeah, very fortunate Steve was not an opportunity to get back to the stage to make a punish to iron with a diamond. They need to find a way to get that diamond, I think. That diamond will be huge. Gonna bait back, once again, using a minecart. Gotta watch out for that iron usage.
But what chance do you have to upgrade that diamond when it's just tight and neutral? One PK fire, that could be a wrap.
What I'm saying. Oh, nice spot dodge right there to avoid that throw. That definitely would have been able to take that stock. Ness is back, though. The second strongest in the game, that forward air, just barely gonna do it.
Very nice. I mean, the coverage that Ness has in the air is so solid. I would argue that Ness has a definitely slight advantage in the air compared to Steve. Steve's range, while good, is only limited to the pickaxe and tools that he has, and I mean, the minecart is really supportive of him in the air, but Ness is so floaty, has so many great tools in the air. It can be tough to really contest as a character like Steve, who has so much. There's gotta be a good or bad matchup there somewhere.
I think it's actually relatively easy, even, not easy, even, and that's just because Ness, of course, he's pretty floaty. But of course, he does have PK Thunder. He has ways of forcing Steve to move or to not have to build as much, because that PK Thunder, that PK Fire, of course PK Flash. Steve's biggest advantage, of course, is he wants to set up the cave, set up that little 1, 2, 3 block build just so he can mine. He has time to be able to craft and, of course, upgrade his weapons. Don't think we saw too much of that, actually, game number 1, and I think that's what allowed them to take that first game. Of course, it's only 1-0. We got a best of 5 here, so there's lots of games to be played still.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking pretty good so far. I love seeing a Ness pick, not because, I mean, I'm a huge Earthbound fan or anything. I mean, I've hardly played the games, I'm not going to lie. As much as I did try, those are mad confusing and very puzzle heavy. But
Earthbound is a long game, too, but I love Earthbound.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite OG games. Of course, it makes me feel a little bit old talking about Earthbound, but like...
I mean, if you want to find a hard game to beat, play some Earthbound, I'm telling you.
Without a guide, too.
Yeah, no guide. Yeah, that's the real thing. No guide Earthbound, good luck.
With a guide, the game's pretty fun, because you can actually find out, the best drops from enemies, and of course you can find where to go, and of course what side quests and little tidbits you want to do. But without a guide, I think Earthbound is inexperience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say that out of fear of making any spoilers, obviously, but it's quite an experience.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm pretty sure that Steve's but experienced some serious beating, but I'm sure Ness is no stranger to beatings. As we're seeing this immediate ladder combo, Jaden, one that's having some fisticuffs.
I'm telling you, man, they're ready. They're ready. Like they have those combos on lockdown. It's once again, it's one thing to say I practice it in a training room. It's another to say yes, I practiced it in the training room, and I can apply it in a real match. I can under the pressure.
Online
Still,
too, no less.
Yep, online too.
I do want to shout out the California region, yo. Like, this is some seriously beautiful Smash we're seeing today. The amount of actual practice these players have put in is incredible. The matchup spread, the character experience, like, whoa, what a wind-up force match is saying. Get over here, man, when you're coming.
There's that TNT setup.
Huh?
Look at that. Yep, that is a real setup. That is a real setup suplex. What happens is you get on top of the TNT, you down smash it. The TNT ignites, and because of the weird way the TNT hitbox is, Steve does not get hit, and he actually auto cancels the end leg of the down smash, which lets him go immediately into a forward smash.
Oh lord, that's way too much. I thought he would at least air dodge in there or something.
Shout out to my friend for teaching me all this weird Steve stuff, man.
This character is unprecedented.
You gotta know what you want against Steve, man. If you're not ready for a Steve matchup, then good luck. That's all I gotta say.
Really. This character is part of the game now. You gotta accept it. If you can't fight against this character, you have some real problems in the future.
At the risk of sounding controversial, I actually really like Steve as a character, and that's just because at a fundamental level, it takes so much skill and tech to be able to play Steve at a high level. He's not a character that you just, once again, you pick up like Mario, you instantly, up tilt, up throw, or down throw into like up air, strength. No, he requires precision, he requires timing, understanding of what techs to use in what scenarios. Of course, the building setup, there's so much we can talk about with just Steve alone as a character.
The potential is limitless with Steve. I mean, there's there's no greater definition for Steve than creative mode in Smash. Like, you can truly learn so much tech. There's so many skills to be applied, and when it comes down to it, you have everything you need to truly be a complete character, and that's that fun stuff, yo. If you want to put the time in, Steve's the character for you.
Right. Ooh, not out of the woods yet. Jaden actually looking to try to make a comeback right here. The diamond pickaxe is on deck. Now, I really like this counter pick from Nightlight because this is something I never got to talk about because of the high action, but Steve has another unique mechanic, suplex. Yes, I know, another one. On certain stages, his tools are different. Final Destination is an incredible stage for him because he actually uses the shovel to mine for material, not the pickaxe.
Right, which allows him to have a lot more.
Which allows him to save the durability to use it for moves like that. That back air, taking it off the top. When you're using the shovel to mine for materials, you don't have to worry because Steve doesn't use the shovel for any of his regular attacks.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on like Pokemon Stadium 2, for instance, where he's using the pickaxe, suddenly you got to find a balance between mining and attacking because you mine too much, you're gonna break your pickaxe, and now you don't have an aerial, or well, you don't have obviously a pickaxe to use your aerials. You'll still swing your hand, but it's not gonna do anything.
I mean, it's pretty funny to see just how much Steve gets that freedom on certain maps to be able to use that shovel and just pretty much, I guess, negate any kind of risk for durability, because all you have to worry about is going to a crafting table every now and then, which you rarely even have to do for mining purposes. If you're
and there are I don't remember the exact lists of stages, but I do know for certain that Final Destination is one of them, and that is a stage 2. Watch out for if you are trying to counterpick a Steve. Man,
yeah, I mean, it's cool.
Man, we're talking like. Again, I know I'm talking about Steve a lot here, but at this
no, you
point,
go for it. You go for it, dog.
I'm just spitting all the knowledge out. Another thing, Steve is probably one of the characters that you have to account for counter picks the most, and the reason I say that is because the mining order is actually set for each individual stage, depending on, of course, the turf and everything. But you will always get diamond on the X amount of mines on Final Destination compared to like Pokemon Stadium. Like Final Destination, you might get diamond on the 25th mine. On Pokemon Stadium, you might get the 18th. It's going to be consistent every single time. It's a rotation, and it's the same.
Yeah, I mean, when you have that kind of consistency and you're able to study it, that comes into play. Oh, I love this song, by the way. God dang.
dude, gushing about music?
Hell yeah. Ba-da-ba-bow. Ooh, nice little dunk here. Trying to go for the envelope. No dice. See the pressure. Jaden just trying to get anything started here. But it's just, again, Nightlight is so consistent of staying safe, initiating their game plan one step at a time, not overcommitting, because why should they? They're playing Steve. Look at this free cover they get from minecart, from just mining over and over, placing one block. Just one block.
One block
can change how
changes-
neutral works.
Exactly what I was gonna say. Forces options out of your opponent, and the more you can limit your opponent, as you know, the more better off you'll be because they'll become more predictable, and that'll make it way easier for you in the long run to be able to find those hits, those combos, and those strings that you want to be able to perform. But so far, we're seeing pretty even. Jaden is really showing that they understand the. Oh my god. That block actually inadvertently saving their life right there.
That block saved 2 stocks.
But yes, Jaden is showing a very good understanding of this matchup so far. That back air is not going to take it. Wow, good DI right there coming from Jaden, surviving just a little bit longer.
Just trying to get on back off that ledge. And those 2 blocks, they're so terrifying. And then the minecart right afterwards, covering an insane amount of space, making it so tough to recover. Jaden trying to get that kill, but the back throw being nullified by that block. There's just so much to look out for from Steve. Oh, what a float over the grab! And then a punish of his own. Look at the starter. Nightlight's just running a circuit.
They're just trying to get whatever stock they can. PK fire right into the shield. That's going to be heavily punished, but not as much as they'd like. Oh, there goes the sword. I think they don't want to craft that diamond just because, yes, they're going to lose their stock probably pretty soon anyways. So now you're going to get off that angel platform. They're going to definitely get that mining table, and I imagine there comes the diamond sword. Right on cue.
Yeah, here we go. All set up now. Nice little back air there. Keep Jaden off. You don't want that kind of pressure. And the TNT again. That tech is so solid. And what do you even do about it, right?
Yeah, the best way to do it, especially if they have that TNT at ledge, just get up attack. Just get up attack. That is your best option because it'll hit away the TNT without igniting it. And of course, Steve is just going to fall back down. So that is your best option in a scenario like that. Of course, it's very difficult to know that sometimes, especially in high-pressure situations. Once again, look at that tech. Canceling the animation of that down smash by using blocks, by using TNT. It is such a good option for any Steve player, and you always got to watch out for that.
Oh, this little catch. It's not going to hit by the envelope with the uppy. Or the up air, I mean. And the little backer coming into play. Trying to create that space and trying to really own at least some range, but again, they're just finding a way out of everything. Pickaxe gone for the down. Going for the count right now.
Yep, no iron though. No iron, 94%. They do have a diamond, but I don't know if they want to use it, especially because they still have the axe for those up tilts, and that's something big for Steve. Back throw, not going to do it from center stage. Battlefield, pretty decently sized blast zones. Steve just trying to run. Oh, he could have done the up smash, but he didn't. Let it go. Probably figured it was going to be a little too unsafe, especially with that stock lead. Has to recover here using iron.
Ooh,
and that's going to cost him the stock,
smash.
actually.
Very nice catch. Just seeing Nightlight go a little bit over that ledge, but now they got diamond tools. Minecart, they have a little bit of iron left. Back throw here, 145. This is getting real risky for Jaden.
Yeah, it's getting even riskier, too. Steve does have an up throw, kill throw, but it doesn't matter. That F smash with the diamond sword, you're gone, Nest. Super light. Oh my god, diamond is so strong, man. But then again, it's you're being hit with a diamond, so.
Yeah. I mean, when Steve gets those diamonds out, not only is he's a little bit faster with the diamonds as well, right?
Yes. No, he's not. His smash attacks are faster. The frame data becomes faster.
Mm-hmm. He's a little bit faster. He gets way more kill potential. The damage is even increased.
Less end lag. End lag.
It's so much. He becomes a better character overall when he gets diamonds. Like, you can't really contest that too. You can't let him get started with it.
This is Steve the whole match, man. Like, you got to watch out when he's doing this.
Yeah.
Once again, big note: if you are a player and you're looking out to what you want to counter versus Steve, try to learn the order of the mining material. Let's say, again, my example was if Steve were to get diamond on the 25th mine, and let's say he's on the 24th. If you take Steve's stock, he doesn't get the diamond on the next mine. It resets back to 1. So you can actually, theoretically, take Steve's stock before he ever gets to the first cycle to get diamond. And again, it's always about watching Iron. Iron is another big tool Steve has. It's a big reason why it's very hard to juggle Steve, just because, you always got to be wary of Anvil. When you don't see Iron, you go in against the Steve. No minecart, no Iron. That is your time to bully the Steve whatever way you can. And I think that's the difficulty we're seeing right now. Ness just having a little bit of trouble getting in. Of course, trying to out projectile Steve, but getting rid of those blocks, that's an entirely different situation, because those blocks just completely out PK Fire. So PK Thunder, realistically, your only projectile left, but even then, that's probably not going to help you in the long run. So I kind of want to see a little bit more rush down with the Ness.
Yeah, rush down would probably be a pretty good idea. I mean, clearly the zoning is not going to work that well, as the block's going to be in the way. On top of that, most of Ness's zoning, aside from PK Fire, which is, of course, his best tool, which is now neutralized, his other zoning is very committal. So when it comes down to it, Steve's going to find an easy way around that most of the time. And also, Steve overall is going to be winning, or at least even, in these aerial and grounded matchups and head-to-heads with aerials, with spacing, with range, with damage. It seems like Steve is going to have the advantage in most of these states. And when it comes down to it, like you mentioned, when Steve has no Iron, you've got to make the most of it. If you can't, you're going to lose that matchup. It's just that one disadvantage.
Really, it just comes down to this. The worst thing you can ever let a Steve do is mine. Don't let him mine.
It's so easy. It's so easy.
It's easier said than done.
You're going to see mining right away, off the bat here. Boom.
Yep. See, immediately runs away. But look at that. Look at that right there. Jaden just immediately closing the distance, utilizing Ness's ability to be able to box in against Steve. Multi-hits are pretty nice, too, because each hit will do some damage to that block. So you'll be able to have a lingering hitbox while dealing damage to those blocks. And, of course, Ness's psychic forward airs and everything. A little bit of a disjoint.
The disjoints are very nice in the matchup against Steve, because that range for him is not the longest, but it can be very, very deadly, because most of his normals will lead into an actual combo route. So the less you can get caught at close range by Steve, the better.
There we go. See,
attempt there.
Right there, up throw, just to see if they can bait out a little bit of Iron right there, and there we go. That's a first stock, and already I'm liking the adaptation I'm seeing from Jaden right now. Not getting a little bit more aggressive. Look at that aggressive forward air at a disadvantage, just to not get hit by that forward smash. I believe if he air dodged, he actually probably would have lost the stock, but instead that forward air launches a counterattack. It's a little bit damaged and hangs onto a stock all at the same time. Don't get too predictable with it.
Oh, no.
Ooh, that TNT setup once again coming back to bite him though. Nightlight showing really well why they are well versed in Steve tech.
It hits so high up too. It's so brutal. But at this point for Jaden, it's really just go in or go home. If you're not going full on aggressive and trying to go in with the least damage taken possible on your way in, what else can you really do at this point?
See, it's so menacing. Just look at Steve. He's just mining, but like you're looking at for me, I'm just looking at that iron bar go up and up and up, and see now he has the diamond TNT setup. Gonna try to two-frame with it? Yeah, that's gonna be a regrab.
Oh no! Okay, just barely makes it out. A little back out there to keep him off stage, but again, it's minecart, all reliable to get back on stage.
A little bit of a pivot grab gets him off stage. Only one iron. Up throw. Or no, that was a back throw right into the block. Actually, missed tech.
Yeah, so frustrating when you know you can have these kill throws. You know you can actually get into a really good advantageous state, but there's a block just in the way.
Well, let's go. Let's do or die right now. Jaden on the very last stock, potentially, of this tournament series, at least, between these two teams. But they're going to try to make a comeback. Yes, that back throw is going to do it, and only 19% due to their name. They have one diamond. They have to deal with one diamond, though. Dash attack is going to do 17, almost 20%.
For the crispy celts here, this Steve trying to close out this deal. Bring it home for the team, but the Lancer Bros Reds, they want more games. They need Jaden to keep playing. Huge lead for Nightlight right now. Not even touched in this last stock yet. But all it takes is a chance for Jaden to get Nightlight off stage. Hopefully get this edge guard. Not let the minecart happen. It's just not finding a way in. It's so tough against a character like Steve, who's so fast, so adaptable.
There we go, not falling. There we go, did not fall for that setup that time. Just waited it out a little bit longer. Waited for them to do that down smash, and then they did their neutral getup. Very, very smart. Finally got some hits at 9%, but you're going to need more than 9% if you're going to make it out. That PK Fire is going to stop that Minecraft. cart from doing its thing. The up smash will do it though, I think. No, it's not good DI. Still in it to win it.
Let's go. Bring back that scoreboard real quick. We got more games to play. This minecart still going. Will up the attempt. Back air. Leading the charge for a potential comeback, but it's not going to be this time. That minecart sealing the deal. The Crespy Celts are your champs, yo. That was way too clean.
This incredible gameplay from both sides. I think it was quite back and forth throughout all three sets, I want to say, Suplex. Like, it's incredible what these players have been able to do. I really enjoyed seeing some new characters. Ness is a character I don't think we've seen yet. Of course, Steve, this is the second time we've seen it, but I don't think we've seen that amount of Steve tech or been able to talk about that amount of Steve tech throughout this entire tournament so far. And of course, we got to give huge shout outs to everyone who played the game because you guys did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, that's really about a wrap. Truly, it has been a pleasure. Once again, congratulations, because that was a beautiful set from the Crespy Celts. And also, of course, congrats to the Lancer Bros Red for putting up such a great performance. But for now, that's going to be about it for us. Thank you to the players, the coaches, the schools, the entirety of esports in schools. I mean, we just saw how beautiful it is, and I'm glad I got to sit here and witness it with you, MCC. It's been a good time.
Absolutely. Likewise, Suplex. Likewise, Suplex. It has been a fantastic night, and I don't think there's anything else to say other than we'll see you guys next time.
Have a good time, y'all. Thanks for all tuning in. Until the video, of course. Hope you all really enjoyed that. And yeah, that's all from us. Take care, y'all.
Take care, everyone.